Movies on Fire.
I think we ought to discuss the bonus situation.
Right.
Hi there, this is Michael repping Movies on Fire and the Bonus Situation podcast coming at you with some early impressions of Ozgood Perkins' new joint, The Monkey. I have seen the movie in its entirety now, and I don't think it's too early to call this one of my favorite films of 2025. I don't want to give away too much, but this is one of the most, I think, playful and enjoyable comedies I have seen in a very long time. The basic premise is taken from the Stephen King book, but the Stephen King short story. And it follows two twins who discover a toy monkey left to them by their absentee jet pilot father, only to discover that playing with it spurs the untimely death of anyone unlucky enough to be in its orbit. Usually in a really fucked up, if not hilarious way. Now, Zach, you were in the theater with me while I was cackling like a hyena. What did you think of The Monkey? Did it work for you, and would you recommend other people to go see it?
Yeah, and I will preface this by mentioning that I am not usually an enormous horror fan, so I'm a tough target for a movie like this, but I really enjoyed it. I think it had a lot of thematic depth that was a bit surprising to see. You wouldn't expect to get so many themes about like death, about fatherhood, about the way we pass down parenthood from a movie quite like this, but also it's funny. It's very funny, and that's the key, I think, for a horror comedy. If you're someone who likes horror comedies, it's absolutely well worth the watch. And even if you're not and just kind of find the premise interesting, basically if you read the synopsis and think that could be fun, it probably is exactly the movie you're expecting.
Yeah, I mean, without getting into any spoilers, again, I really do think this works far better as a comedy than it does as a horror movie. I'm not sure if I was ever really scared during this movie. And to be quite honest, I really don't think you're supposed to. I mean,
No.
Like Zach, would it be appropriate to call this just a mediation or a meditation on death anxiety, I think?
Yeah, I would argue so. But it doesn't take itself seriously enough that it ever gets too depressing, which is something that those sort of movies can easily tip into when you're considering death. But yeah, it manages to get its metaphor across in a very capable way while remaining just an enjoyable watch, which is a difficult tightrope.
I mean, in some ways, this kind of reminded me of Beetlejuice in that I think they are drawing almost from the same very morbid well. But otherwise, if you liked Longlegs, I'd definitely check this out. If you didn't like Longlegs, I would also go check this out.
Yeah, be aware there is a lot of gore. Don't bring your 6-year-old. But
Yeah.
if your child is like 13 and loves gore movies, great choice.
And I don't really feel at liberty to break down all of the death scenes just because I feel like even describing some of them would...
It is the jokes.
I mean, they are the punchlines. How people die in this movie, that is how this film executes its humor. They get very creative, some of which I think you really will have to suspend your disbelief. But I think if you enjoyed Final Destination... just that whole franchise, which, by the way, just want to shout out that there's a 6th one coming out this May. Really looking forward to seeing that. But yeah, basically, if you were fond of those movies, well, your cup runneth over this year.
Especially if Final Destination fans, this is a perfect companion to those movies.
Yeah. And, again, I'm... Like, can you get mad at the monkey? Like the titular toy in this. I mean, it's killing people, but is it really killing people? Right. I mean, how sentient is this thing?
Yeah, it's hard to tell, and it's also difficult to get truly mad at it because it is a toy monkey that is very clearly milked for comedy, which I think is really the advantage. Like, the monkey really represents the arbitrariness of death, but it is also... Yeah. An organ grinder monkey.
Yeah, I mean, it looks goofy as hell, which is funny because, I feel like if you look at the Conjuring movies or even Saw, they have their scary puppets. I mean, there is no...
This isn't a scary puppet.
No, it looks so goofy, and it's emblematic of what this movie is.
Agreed.
Again, just to reiterate, we will not be spoiling The Monkey just yet. We want to give you guys, the audience, your fair shot to enjoy this movie without any of its really fun surprises ruined for you. But in the meantime, I can also give you the opinions of the audience that I saw this film with, as well as the opinion of my fellow bonus situation co-host, Boomer Eamon. Hi, this is Michael Collier repping the bonus situation by Movies on Fire. I am standing at the Cinemark Tinseltown XD, where we have just seen The Monkey in its early access premiere, and I just want to go around the room and see what we thought of it. Boomer, please kick us off. What did you think of The Monkey?
I thought it was a funny movie, surprisingly. I don't think I expected such a ridiculous movie that left me happy as a clam.
All right.
It felt like a 2-hour-long SNL skit.
I think the movie is about the way we deal with understanding our own death and coming to terms with the fact that people die. And it manages to convey that you kind of have to laugh at it in a very incredible way.
I feel like the punchline was the movie.
Excuse me, sir. Would you like to comment? Would you like to comment on The Monkey? What did you think about the film before it opens in wide release?
Are you sure you want my opinion?
I would love your opinion.
So, being a Stephen King fan, probably one of the best adaptations that have come out. Really? Ever since, I don't know, Maximum Overdrive was probably my favorite as a kid. Still not the greatest film, but when Cat People came out, it was just awful. But Stephen King started getting better with progressively with TV adaptations. Like The Stand was amazing. So to see this one, no offense, but there's no in-depth correlation about people's grasp on death and life. That is just gory fun. That was just gory fun. Probably when it comes to these gory movies, you think about, the acting is never great because it's focused on gore, right? The acting was amazing. It really was, because it was a horror film and it wasn't all cheesy until that one scene with the two of them. That got cheesy. But anyway, that's a gory fun movie. There's nothing, in my opinion, there's nothing depth about it, but gory fun. That's it. Hands down. So that was amazing. I loved it. Yeah, I loved it. I did. I'm a movie guy, and I just freaking love movies. So
look, if I can go around the room again, sir, would you recommend this to the average Joe on the street?
Oh, absolutely.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But again, you got to be a gore fan to appreciate it.
Yes.
People can't come in here that don't enjoy a little ridiculous, out of pocket gore, which is what that was. Unbelievably fun goriness. If you don't like it, they're not going to come see it. But if you come in here knowing that you're going to see some crazy shit, oh, hell yeah. I'm bringing my oldest to this. I'm going to bring whoever my gore fans are to this. This is incredible.
I'm going to bring my mother next week.
Do it.
Katie, would you recommend this to the average Joe?
I agree with what the kind sir said. Yes.
Okay, wonderful.
Absolutely. It was a gore fest and just had so much fun with the movie.
Chase, would you recommend this to the average Joe?
Possibly. I think the big thing is I think what interests me is more of some of the questions as to how we actually participate and relate to things in life, including death. So I think it wasn't the best medium to ask that question. I say it's not the best medium, but really, what's a better medium? I think it did its job well, and I think that's fine. And so when I say the punchline is the movie, I really do just mean that I think the movie did what it was intending to do. Obviously, it was not packaged that way, and I think that's where some of the whiplash comes from as a viewer. So mainstream audience, no, but the right audience would definitely enjoy it.
Okay. And Zach, would you recommend this to the average Joe?
Yeah. I tend to agree with Chase that it's not a wide film that is going to be enjoyed by everybody, but I think if you're remotely interested in the premise, basically if you read the premise and you're like, that sounds interesting, it probably will be.
All right, and there you have it, folks. That is our Around the Room rundown of The Monkey. You can check it out once it hits wide release February 21st. For the record, I would definitely recommend it. Cheers. Movies on Fire.
I think we ought to discuss the bonus situation.
Right.